My mind is going back now because I remember speaking at an event, getting off of the event, the conference host and their staff being so excited about my presentation, they said, give us your website. We're going to go buy your book. Hear me out. This is not an attack against them. I understand now what was at work. They never went and bought the book. But I understand because what I was speaking was not transformative. It was not transformative. There could be no transition there. From people's lives transitioning to transitions or transactions. There could be no trans actions. There could be no trans actions there. No action. None. Why? Because I was hiding. I was hiding who I was. That's why I said I was coming out today. I know some of y'all are like, coming out? Well, I already thought, nah, baby, not in that sense. Baby, we been did that, baby. We been made that announcement. That was years ago. I'm talking about coming out as a financial advisor, as a financial locksmith. I'm coming out today. I'm allowing myself to be seen as that on today. And I'm hoping that as I come out, now you will begin to come out. You will allow yourself to tap into the dimensions of who you are and allow yourself to be everything that you are. The Multidimensional Intelligence Podcast is powered by Transform You Institute. We show up as the answer to your questions, your cries, your internal wrestlings, your prayers, and/or your need for clarity in one or more core area of your life. Although we show up as the answer, we understand that we are not your solution. As the answer, we help raise your awareness of you being your solution. How do we do this? We temporarily become a navigational resource, teaching or reminding you how to access and embrace the dimensions of your internal intelligence or solutions. For more information about Transform You Institute, visit our online campus at www.transformuinstitute.com. Welcome to the Multidimensional Intelligence Podcast. I am your host, your trusted voice of transformation, Clifton Pettyjohn. Join me as I engage in ingenious conversations with top creators from around the world who have embraced their dimensions of intelligence within their professional, personal, and spiritual paths of transformation. Welcome back to the Multidimensional Intelligence Podcast. My name is Clifton Pettyjohn. I am your trusted voice of clarity and transformation. But watch this. I am also your financial locksmith. I teach creative individuals how to unlock and embrace the flow of their financial intelligence within the multi-dimensions of their identity. That's who I am, guys. That's who I'm not hiding anymore. That is exactly who I am. There you have it. Like a weight taken off of my shoulders. Don't like talking about finances sometimes, but yet I love talking about finances. I get excited talking about finances. I have my reasons why I don't get excited about them. I do. And although they may be valid reasons, they are not valid excuses. So I'm getting on today because I want to have a conversation with you. But before we have that conversation, this is our first individual podcast of the year. If you have not listened to our very first podcast of the year, or episode, I keep saying podcast when I mean episode, guys, episode of the year, I sat down with Michael Weston. All right. Michael Weston is my spiritual advisor, one of my closest friends. He is my identity strategist. There is so much that he embodies. It cannot be put into one sentence or one conversation. So I want you to go back, listen to that conversation. I want you to follow him on all of your social media platforms. And I want you to tap into the identity work. At the end of next month, April 28th through the 2nd of May, he's hosting the identity retreat. I happen to be one of the presenters there. Woo, woo. I'm really excited. I was going regardless. I was going not to present. Some of you heard me say I was just going to participate because I understand that identity work is an ongoing process. I'm excited to be a presenter there, but I'm even more excited to see all that's going to take place over that weekend. So I encourage you, if you have not applied for the identity retreat, first of all, what are you waiting for? Get over to www.yoursupernormal.com and you apply today. If you're wondering if I'm talking to you, yes, I am talking to you. Apply today. He's only accepting a small number of people, a select number of people. Make sure that you are in the number. All right. So today is the first, as I said, my first individual podcast of the year. Okay. And I couldn't think of a better way to shape this conversation than for me to come out. You know what I'm saying? For me to come out. Now, before we get to that, let's do our breathing exercises because we're always going to breathe. All right. Take a deep breath in. Sit right there with it. Don't you move with it. Hold it in right now. And now breathe out. One more time. Take a deep breath in. Hold it. Breathe out. Don't you feel lighter? Don't you feel more present? Don't you feel more alert? Don't you feel more aware? Don't you feel more open? That's great. That's the whole point of it. If you were able to complete the exercise, it means breath's in your body. Therefore, yes, I am talking to you. You don't have to guess. You don't have to wonder. I am talking to you on today. All right. Number 2. Because you did that breathing exercise, it called you to the present. So all of the energy that you had given to the past, you are now pulling that energy here to the present. All the energy you had given and devoted to the possibilities of a future, you now pull that energy to the present. Now, you are not attempting to make present energy, past energy, or present energy, future energy, or future energy, present energy, or future energy, past energy, or past energy, present energy, or past energy, future energy. Whew! You're not attempting to do any of that. You just want to wrap those energies together to create that synergy so that they all work together for you here in the present while doing what they need to do for your past, present, and future. That make any sense? If not, we can have a conversation about that. But I don't want you to try to forget everything in your past. No, you need to remember some things from your past. Release yourself from the influence of it. Release yourself of being tied to it, but you need that memory as well. For the future, have those big hopes, those big dreams, those big aspirations, but don't be so connected and tied and tied down to those that you don't begin to celebrate what you are experiencing here in the present, yo. There is no better time than the present. There is no better time than the present. There is no better time than the present. Here's the thing about the present. It continues to progress. It continues to progress. So you want to make sure, and I'm really trying not to repeat myself because, yeah, I'm trying not to repeat myself, but I guess that's just me. All right. But it's always progressing, always evolving, and you want to make sure that you're right in the flow of that progression. You want to make sure you are in the flow of that evolution. All right. The flow of that progression and the flow of that evolution, just allowing yourself to be who you are. You know, I talk about that best self. That present self is your best self. Sometimes we disrespect our present self because we're so focused on who we used to be and who we want to be that we don't even focus on who we are. Who we are right now. Who you are right now is everything that you need right now. Every answer, every strategy, every technique, every tool, you have it inside of you. Say it with me. I have it inside of 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 me. All right. I want you to know that. Don't believe that. I need you to know and know and know and know that everything that you need is locked up inside of you. And you, my friend, have the master key to unlock those dimensions of who you are. Stop fearing those dimensions of who you are. Stop wondering if this is a dimension of who you are. Stop expecting other people to embrace what you continue to reject, and you begin to embrace it. Create that energy field, create that vibe, create that atmosphere that now causes you to be embraced by you. And then those who need to embrace you will begin to embrace you, because now you are embracing you. Sometimes what you've identified as rejection is just an inner signal telling you that you are not as connected to you as you believe that you are. And that's not an attack against you, baby. I know that for myself. I'm talking to you from personal experience. You know what I'm saying? I know what it's like to be disconnected from myself. I know what it's like to be afraid to explore and play with certain dimensions of who I am. Oh man, I know what that's like. So I don't want you to experience those things. But at the same time, I know that you need to experience those things so that you will value the dimensions that are you. You will value the dimensions that are you. So let's get into this conversation, okay? Let's get into this conversation. I want to talk about being ready. Being ready. I have conversations with myself. If you know me, you already know that I value conversations with self. I'm not a person that tells you it's okay to talk to yourself as long as you don't answer yourself. No, you need to have those conversations with yourself, and you need to be free enough to answer yourself. And you need to be free enough to answer yourself without judgment, criticism, guilt, shame, condemnation, whatever it is. You need to be free enough to answer yourself without all of those aspects. You need to be able to sit down and have the most honest conversation with yourself without looking down on yourself, but embracing that aspect of who you are. So I had a conversation with myself, and it was two opposing thoughts that came up. Well, I'm going to call them opposing thoughts because that's originally how I looked at these thoughts. But later I understood that each thought needed each other in order for either one of them to be effective. The first thought that came to mind, I'm just not ready for this. I'm just not ready for it. I'm just not ready for it. The opposing thought, what as I said, I thought was an opposing thought. Fiji, if you're looking, baby, I'm back drinking you. I encourage you to sponsor me, okay? There we go. The other thought that came up was, what if I am ready? What if I am, and I am in air quotes, capitalized, underlined, bold, a larger font, ready? One side, I'm just not ready for it. Other side, What if I am, air quotes, ready for it? So those two thoughts begin to come in my mind. And at first I was looking at those as opposing thoughts. So I was looking at myself having an internal conflict of I'm not ready, but the multi dimensions of who I am are saying, yes, you are ready. But it wasn't until I began to sit with it that I began to understand that if I never became aware of the dimension of me that says I'm not ready for it, then I wouldn't be aware of the dimension of me that says I am ready for this. I am ready for this. My divinity is ready for this. Who I am divinely is ready for me and ready for you to be all that you have inside of you to be. But then there is an opposing side of you that will always be there, or a side of you. I don't want to say opposing. Let's get out of that opposing crap, Cliff. Get out of that. Everything is not a competition. Everything is not a sport. Everything is not a wrestling against each other. It's a working with each other. So I watch WWE. I still watch wrestling. I know some of you say it's fake. One of the things that you realize with WWE, because it is choreographed, I believe that's how you say it, because it is scripted, they have to work together versus working against each other. So they begin to write a poem together. They begin to make music together. They begin to do this work together to get to get each other over with the crowd, so that at the end of the night, they actually are both winners. It's not a fight where there's a winner and there's a loser. And some of us have that mindset in relationship to who we are. In relationship to who we are, either I do this or I do that. And if I do this, then I'm not as successful than I would be if I do that. What if you need to do this in order for you to get prepared to do this? What if you need it both? What if you need both of those things? What do you mean, Cliff? I talk about this often. I have a charge. I have a felony, okay? Now, before I had that, I was apprehensive about business. I was apprehensive about anything that went against the norm. I was an employee. That's what I did. I loved the security of that paycheck every 2 weeks. I love the security of that health insurance. I love the security of that 401k. I love the routine of getting up every day and going and doing the same thing every single day. I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. But then there came a time when I get this felony that now I'm no longer able to do that which I had been comfortable with. However, before I even got that, the comfortability of doing that was getting on my nerves, and I wanted to do something new, but I was too afraid of doing something new. I wasn't willing to step out and try something new. So then we have the entrepreneurship here. Now, the entrepreneurship is quite a journey. I don't know if people are honest or completely honest about that journey. Entrepreneurship sometimes is, we're going to do this thing on the fly. We're going to try this thing out. Hope it works out. It may work out. I don't know if it's going to work out. What? It worked out today. Wait a minute. It's not working tomorrow. Then the next day it's not working. It's not working the next week. It's not working the next month. Now it's working for 2 months. It is a ongoing experience, experience. I wasn't open to an ongoing experience. I'm a person that likes things set in stone. I like to know step A, B, C, D, all the way to Z before I make a move. Okay. That's what I like to do. Well, entrepreneurship has kind of taught me how to flow with things, how to flow with things. It's taught me, purpose has taught me how to flow with things, because sometimes when you get comfortable with something, that may mean that's the end of a thing. Then sometimes you may get comfortable with something because now you kind of found your groove. You kind of found your lane. You found your niche. So you got to be able to know which is which. So I had this experience with normality, what we call normal, okay? And then boom, I have an experience where I'm a convicted felon. And now everything that's been normal to me is no longer normal to me anymore. My new norm, I'm rejecting because I'm trying to continue the path of the norm that was. I'm just not ready. I'm just not ready. But what if I am is ready? What if I am is ready? What if I am is ready? So I begin to think about these two conflicting things and parallel them to my own personal experience. And one of the things that I realize is I've always been ready. Listen to this. I've always been ready. I was just out of tune with my readiness. I was out of tune with my readiness. And the reason why I was out of tune with my readiness is because I was out of touch with my identity. Identity work. I was out of touch with my identity. I was being everything that I thought everybody else wanted me to be. I was being everything that I thought that I needed to be accepted. To be accepted. I was being everything that I thought that I needed to be normal, to be normal. And a lot of that was attached to trauma. I was trauma responding because for years I had been called weird. Now, you know, I flipped that with the t-shirt. You can check that out at the website, www.cliftonpettyjohn.com. Go get your merch over there. Okay, baby. This shirt is also available. I am freedom. Okay. I'm freedom, dominion. I have dominion. All right. So anyway, being called weird, being called dumb and stupid and all those different things that other people called that only had power in my life because they attached themselves to parts and dimensions of me that I had embraced that as in my own life. People, words and thoughts of you can't have power unless there's something that you have established inside of you or you have bought into within yourself that it can attach itself to and grow. So I spent my entire life attempting to be normal, attempting to look normal, to sound normal. I even just had a conversation with Michael before I got on here to record about how I even changed my vocabulary. I dummied down my vocabulary because I felt like that would make me more relatable to people, because I felt like I just was not relatable to people. So I dummied down. So I was explaining to him that I realized that when I have moments where my mind goes blank, what really is going on is I am attempting not to say something the way that it flows out of me freely. I'm trying to find another way of saying it that I think might relate more to the people that are hearing it, or to the people that I think would listen to me, to the people that I think that would listen to me. You get what I'm saying? Hope this is making some kind of sense. What if, no. I'm not ready. What if I am ready? Okay. There was a disconnect there. And that disconnect is the reason why I have to continue to do this identity work. Again, head over to www.yoursupernormal.com. I'm telling you, yo, this is going to help you align with who you are. So here I am now, struggling with the concept of me being an entrepreneur. And I got to shout out Dr. Ira Dwayne Roach III, because this man pushed me into entrepreneurship when I did not want to do it, baby. He just continued to push and push and push me into it. So here I am now. I'm a financial advisor, a financial coach, and I'm teaching people basic definitions of financial terms. I'm helping people with budgets, helping them improve their credit, changing their mindset concerning finances, because the reality is my greatest tool or my greatest aspect is, as a mindset coach, that I can get you beyond your current thought or framework of your finances. I don't want to go too deep in that, because this Thursday, I want to invite you to a clarity conversation that we are having entitled Framework Volume 2. We're going to talk about financial framework. Head over to www.transformuinstitute.com. Get yourself signed up for Volume 2. Now, if you want Volume 2 and Volume 1 for free, then head over to www.yoursupernormal.com and get or apply for the Identity Retreat. Those who apply and register for the Identity Retreat have access to Framework Volume 1 and Framework Volume 2 for free, baby. You can't beat free. Let's go. So I found myself in that space, and he's pushing me. And here I am, I'm doing all of that. And then, as I talked about before, imposter syndrome kicked in, and I started to doubt what I knew. I didn't doubt what I believed. Hear what I'm saying. I doubt what I knew about myself. I know that I have a lot of financial and finance knowledge, the management of money, finance, the management of money. Knowledge, okay? I know that. However, I start to look at my own personal finances, and I begin to assess those finances, based upon what I'm looking at externally with other people. And now this imposter syndrome shows up, and I don't want to talk about finances anymore, because I don't have the finances that I feel I should have to be able to talk about finances. So I go and I hide in the open, because some of us are great at hide and seek. And it's not that we're great at hide and seek in the sense of we know all the good hiding places and spaces. It's that we have learned how to hide in the open. We've learned how to hide in the open. Some of you, think about it. I've been a person that has had bouts of depression. I've been on medication for depression. But the greatest thing that I learned to do with depression was to hide the fact that I had it in the open. There were times I was having episodes and nobody knew the episode that I was having, because I taught myself how to pretend through the episode. So here I am now. I'm in the personal development space, and I'm teaching myself how to pretend to be a personal development speaker, a personal development coach. And people are loving it. And I know they're going to love it because I have the voice for it. I have the charisma for it. I have the excitement for it. And I'll take it even a step further. I have the words for it. I have it. However, there's still a disconnect, because although they were loving it, the full transformation that they were seeking, they weren't experiencing it. And it's no way possible I can come and bring transformation when I'm rejecting transformation. What you mean, Cliff? You wrote a whole book called From Stagnation to Transformation. That's right. Head over to www.cliftonpettyjohn.com/transformation and get your copy of From Stagnation to Transformation. I did, but I wasn't embracing the transformative juice or transformative power or transformative authority or whatever you want to call it, transformative wisdom that was within me in relationships relationship to finances and relationship to finance, because again, I had an unrealistic benchmark set for my own personal life that I was measuring everything against. So I started experiencing some success in personal development, but if I can be very transparent, nobody was willing to pay me to come speak. Nobody was willing to pay me to come and speak. So I was doing all these speaking engagements for free. Now, and as I'm talking now, my mind is going back. It probably sound real preachy today, but hopefully you can grab it. My mind is going back now because I remember speaking at an event, getting off of the event, the conference host and their staff being so excited about my presentation, they said, "Give us your website. We're going to go buy your book." Hear me out. And this is not an attack against them. I understand now what was at work. They never went and bought the book. But I understand because what I was speaking was not transformative. It was not transformative. There could be no transition there. From people's lives transitioning to transitions or transactions. There could be no trans actions. There could be no trans actions there. No action. None. Why? Because I was hiding. I was hiding who I was. That's why I said I was coming out today. I know some of y'all are like, coming out? Well, I already thought, nah, baby, not in that sense. Baby, we been did that, baby. We been made that announcement. That was years ago. I'm talking about coming out as a financial advisor, as a financial locksmith. I'm coming out today. I'm allowing myself to be seen as that on today. And I'm hoping that as I come out, now you will begin to come out. You will allow yourself to tap into the dimensions of who you are and allow yourself to be everything that you are. Fiji, if you're watching, I love to drink you, and I would love for you to be a sponsor of the Multi-Dimensional Intelligence Podcast. And while we're here, if some of you are out there and you're listening, you have a business, you have a book, you have a product, you have a service, and you would like to partner with the Multi-Dimensional Intelligence to help spread the word about what it is that you have to offer, I want you to email us at info@cliftonpettyjohn.com and let's talk. All right. Now, refreshing. I'm coming out party today. All right. And as I said, I'm hoping that that gives you the freedom as well to come out. What if I'm not ready? What if I am ready? Now that I am, that is your internal intelligence. That I am is who you were created to be. It's always been ready. It's just been waiting for you to tap into who you are and be confident enough to ask for assistance as you need it. Now, you might say, I don't need assistance being me. I get what you're saying. But many times we need assistance when we're being resistant to being who we are. So I encourage you to reach out. If it's concerning identity work, as I said, reach out to Michael Weston, www.yoursupernormal.com. If it's the financial aspect of things, feel free. Reach out to me. Let's set up a complimentary clarity call. www.cliftonpettyjohn.com. You'll see the instructions there, okay? Before we transition, I just want to leave you with this last thought concerning this conversation. I'm not ready. I am ready. I'm not ready. Showing up is just a statement to show you that you are ready. The I am is ready within you. I'm not ready. It's just a part of you that's crying out because it realizes where you're about to go. So embrace both aspects of it. They say do it scared, do it not ready. Hear what I'm saying? Do it not ready while I am is ready. Do it not ready while I am is ready. Do it not ready while I am is ready. And you're going to find out that those dimensions work together within you. All right. Now, before we go, I want to introduce a new segment on today. That segment is called Financial Intelligence. Each episode of the podcast, I'm going to give one financial tip, okay? One financial tip that's going to help us embrace our financial intelligence. Today's tip, it is tax time. It is tax time. We get excited. Well, some of us get excited for tax time. I don't get huge returns, so I don't really get excited for tax time. Tax time. However, I know a lot of you are getting huge returns. And some of you have been in a cycle for years. You've been in a cycle for years. This is the time where you go buy your designer clothes. You get your fresh J's. I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm with the fresh J's. You go, you get your seafood. Some people, splurge out on seafood. Whatever it is that a new car that is above, your financial responsibility. I'm not going to say financial ability. I'm going to say your financial responsibility. It's above that. You know what I'm saying? You go and you splurge whatever way you might buy a boat, whatever it is that you do. I want to encourage you this year that before you do that, I want you to make an investment in yourself. I want you to invest by purchasing books that are going to help you with your personal development. I want you to invest by investing in Michael Weston's programs or the retreat. I want you to invest by tapping into what I have going on with Transform You. I want you to invest in those things, but I also want you to invest in your passport. I want you to invest in your children's passport. I want you to invest in your travel. And I'm not saying you have to go overseas yet, but I want you to leave your town. I want you to leave your city. I want you to leave your state. I want you to leave your region. I want you to leave your coast. And I want you to experience something new, because it's something about breathing fresh air. And see, what's fresh air to me may not be fresh air to you. If I come to your town to visit, you invite me to visit, I'm coming, I'm experiencing something new. 9 times out of 10, I'm probably going to have a better time than you're going to have because you're kind of used to that air. But I'm breathing in new air. I'm breathing in new territory. I'm breathing in new opportunities. I'm breathing in new thought patterns. I'm breathing in new language. I'm breathing in all of those things, a new way of doing things. I'm breathing in a new size of a city. I'm breathing in new industries within the city. I'm breathing in everything that your city, your state embodies. I'm bringing it in, breathing it in. That's why travel is important. I'm very big on going overseas because you learn new cultures, you learn new language, you learn all of those, or you embrace all of those things, and they become an intricate part of who you are. And can I be honest with you? Some of the dimensions of you will never be unlocked where you are now. And that doesn't mean that I'm saying you have to get up and move, permanently, but you do need to get up and move. If you never get up and move, nothing's going to trigger those dimensions. Nothing's going to trigger them. You need something that's going to trigger them, that's going to activate them. Yeah, that's what it is. It's the activation of those things. You can unlock it, but it still needs to be activated in order for you to be aware of it, to embrace it. And some of you aren't embracing some of the dimensions of you because you just haven't been in the right space to embrace those dimensions, because those dimensions of you are not needed where you are presently. So I want you to try something new. Invest in some stocks. It is very easy to invest in stocks now. You have Cash App. You can invest right in stock. You can buy a piece of a share. You don't have to buy a full share. But I really want to encourage you to buy some shares of some stocks for you and your children. Not just your children, for you. This is for you. If you know me, I'm big on prioritizing you. And I encourage you to head over to www.transformuinstitute and purchase or sign up for the Clarity Conversation entitled Prioritize You. Enroll in that, baby. It's going to help you, especially you parents. But invest. Teach your children to invest. But that number one thing I want y'all to get a passport. I want you to get a passport, and then I want you to just start looking at places that you want to go, imagining places that you want to go, writing down a plan for you to go to some of these places and spaces, and not just throw it out there. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, Cliff. I'm going to do it. No, I want you to begin to develop a plan of action for you to do it. And as I said, you can start as small as you want. I'm not telling you to ball out and take your whole check and do it. That's not even responsible. You know what I'm saying? I want you to live the best life that you've ever lived, but some of that's going to come through investing. And I want to help deprogram your mind regarding investments. A lot of you have a negative thought process concerning investments. And one of the things we're going to transition into doing on this podcast is to make sure that we all have the knowledge that connects with the dimension of us that is investment. There's a dimension of you that's investment, not a dimension of you that's attached to investment, that believes in investment. There's a dimension of you called investment. So I have to make sure that we get ourselves, or I get you through this podcast, to the right space and the right place so that investment within you can be activated and you can allow it to flow and embrace it, baby. All right. So that's our show for today, our podcast, our episode for today. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being a part of this transition in my life as well, or a part of, as my identity strategist said it, me returning to who I am. Thank you for I am. You hear that? Me returning to who I am. So thank you for being a part of that. You're going to see some of the names of the segments might change. I may add some segments, take away some segments. You're going to be a part of all of that. This week, I'm calling myself the financial locksmith. If that doesn't feel right next week, I may be calling myself, I don't know, the financial something. We're going to figure all of that out. You're going to watch me do this identity work. You're going to watch me be this identity work right here in real time on this podcast. All right. I love each and every one of you. I value you. I appreciate you. You are wonderful. You are beautiful. You are intelligent. You are wealthy. You are more than you ever could think in or imagine. You are the multi-dimensions that make up you. As I always say, create a great day, walk with purpose, and by all means, embrace your best self. Peace. Well, there you have it. That's today's episode of the Multidimensional Intelligence Podcast. If you want to be notified of all future episodes while having access to previous episodes, simply subscribe through your preferred listening platform. Also, if you feel inclined, leave us a 5-star rating and review. Until next time, peace.